This is exclusive updates. And so Rihanna is going through it right now. It looks like she fled her home in Beverly Hills, California after this disturbing incident where she had a crazed fan that was also a social media influencer that was always online talking about Rihanna being a witch, and she was talking about Rihanna was harassing her, actually. So this woman seems pretty delusional, and check out some of her previous posts.
I believe the shots came from across the street.
The accused shooter, Ivana Ortiz, seen here on Facebook, is still locked up behind bars, held on a $10 million plus bail after being booked for attempted. Today, a source tells people the incident was terrifying for Rihanna. She doesn't understand why someone would target her family.
The way that Rihanna wants me, she's the one who wants me.
That's Ortiz 2 months ago, holding the praying woman's journal in her hand and spewing scary, unhinged messages towards the pop superstar.
Listen, Rihanna, when you say, God is taking me to my future. Yeah, she's a witch. She's a witch. I'm a watchman. She's a witch. Get that stupid girl out of here.
What?
At this hour, we're following breaking news where we're hearing reports of Rihanna's home being shot at while she was inside. Sky Fox live over her home in Beverly Hills, and according to TMZ, a woman drove up near the home and shot several times. Police showed up quickly and took her into custody. It's unclear of if Rihanna's partner, rapper A$AP Rocky, or their 3 children were home. We do have a crew headed to the scene, and we will update this story on air and online once we learn more information.
The charges that have been filed against Ms. Ortiz include 1 count of attempted murder, 10 felony counts of assault with a semi-automatic firearm, and 3 felony counts of shooting at an inhabited dwelling or camper. In that residence, Rihanna was there with her partner, her 3 children, her mother, and 2 staff people. In addition, Ms. Ortiz is accused of firing at a neighboring residence that had 2 additional individuals. And there are 3 felony counts of shooting at inhabited dwellings. There are actually 2 dwellings at Rihanna's residence. There's a Airstream camper in which 2 individuals were located, as well as a house on that property, and then there was the neighboring property. The 2 people that were inside the Airstream were Rihanna and her partner, Rakeem Mayer.
And so, yeah, with her accusations that Rihanna's a witch, that kind of stood out. But then again, she does seem very unhinged. So seems to be some truth in what she's saying, you would think, because some of Rihanna's past work, she kind of shows that she might have made this deal that everyone has been talking about in the industry. And so they arrested the suspect, and she's going to be in jail, and she has a high bail, so it doesn't look like she's getting out, but she looks very disturbed. She might be able to even pull off some type of insanity defense or something, because she's clearly not in the right state of mind. And what's going on with this woman is anyone's guess, because, I mean, with her being the person out in front of this whole story, you have to wonder what's actually going on. I mean, could it be anything to do with mind control? Could she be possessed? She definitely looks like a fanatic. She was reading a bunch of Bible scriptures, and she just seems to have gotten this thing against Rihanna where she looks very delusional. But I mean, when it comes to the industry, you never really know what's going on, because I mean, Rihanna looks like she's been tried to retire from music against her fans' will, because her fans been wanting her to come back out. You see, a lot of artists, they might take this deal in the music industry, they might make millions of dollars, then after a while they're done. You know, they want to move on with their life and live kind of like a normal life. Well, that's not going to work for everybody that tries to do that. I mean, you saw how when Kobe Bryant retired, he was not even 40 years old. He was like 30 something from what I recall. And it was kind of early and abruptly that he retired, and then something happened to him. So others have been successful retiring. So it might depend on your status, because like Lauryn Hill, she put out like 1 album, a very successful album at that. She earned like a Grammy Award or something, and then she was out of there, started having baby after baby. And so she was pretty much allowed to retire, but nobody was really checking for her like that after her album. I mean, there wasn't a high demand for her to return to music. Not from everybody. I mean, she had a core fan base, but she wasn't as popular as I would say Rihanna was. Rihanna had several albums and a pretty long career, so she had a very high demand for people to want her to come back out with music. And then she decided to start having babies and start raising a family, kind of at the peak of her career, just kind of out of nowhere. She just was done. Didn't really announce her final album, just kind of put out an album at her peak, and then she was just done. And it was right around the time that Beyonce started having kids. So people were looking at this like, okay, Beyonce started having her first baby. She had Blue Ivy. And Rihanna was at a status where it was pretty much hers for the taking at that point, because Beyonce was finally getting out the way and leaving room for another R&B female artist to start, taking over that spot. And instead, Rihanna decided to have a baby as well around that same time. And everyone was surprised. People really thought that was her moment. So she started having babies, and they were both just gone for a while. But the one difference is Beyonce ended up coming back after a few babies. She did several pregnancies, and then she came back. And this was my thing I've been saying with the music industry is it doesn't look like you're really allowed to retire and just say, I just want to live a normal life now. It seems like you're obligated with some of these deals to continue to be in the spotlight until they say you're done. So same thing with Cardi B. She got her deal, and then she started having baby after baby. And she didn't put out an album for I think they said 5 years almost or something like that, probably more than that. And she really just had her first album, and people were wondering if she was ever going to come back because of how long it took. And as soon as she came back, she popped out another baby. So she was pregnant while she was coming back with her return album. And so she had an announcement that, okay, this time she's going to have the baby and then return to music. So the thing is, it looked like she was in a situation where she was trying to avoid being out in the public and releasing music. It was looking like she just wanted to live her life with her millions and just retire and be done with the music. After getting that deal signed and getting the millions of dollars, it's like some of these artists just want to relax and they don't want to be out there. They just want to take the money and live. And when the industry sees that, that's where the problem might arise. You see, Rihanna was making money off of other ventures, but they signed her for music, and I think they wanted her to be involved with the music industry still. It's like, hey, they put you on, then you got this deal with Fenty or whatever it is, and she got these side deals that are making her way more money than the music was, but she wouldn't have had those deals if it wasn't for the music in the first place. So the industry is looking at this like, okay, they want to make sure that they're not being played. They want to make sure that you're not going to just take advantage of them putting you on. That's how I kind of think about this, is they're just looking at it like, okay, we put you on. You're not going to just walk away and live your best life and think you can just walk away from everything. And you're going to leave when we tell you it's okay to leave, if that ever happens. And I think that's the case, because when Rihanna was at the Super Bowl, she had a Super Bowl performance, and she actually was pregnant during the Super Bowl performance. It's like, okay, this is your big moment, and the timing was just, I don't think, the best look for Rihanna, and I don't know how the industry felt about that. Plus, she was supposed to come back, I guess, and she never did. After that Super Bowl performance, I think they wanted her to release an album, and she was always kind of saying that she didn't really want to. She was actually getting upset with her fans when they asked her about releasing an album. There was comments being left where she was being rude to people asking her to come back. So she really was trying her best to avoid coming back to the industry. And so I released a video a couple weeks ago about her unusual appearance into the industry that involved Jay-Z, and I believe Clive Davis might have been involved as well. I'll have to go back and check the video, but it was a very disturbing video. You're going to want to check this out. I'll leave the link in the comment section and description box about how Rihanna got into the industry. It's a very disturbing story. She came from another country, and basically Jay-Z was telling her, hey, you got to sign this deal. It's not really an option, it sounded like. So see for yourself. I have some footage, some very rare footage you're going to want to see. It's actually pretty disturbing. So, I mean, with her association with Jay-Z, I mean, who knows what really happened? There's rumors and speculation that you know who might want to have Rihanna taken out because of her age when she was signed. And there is rumors that you know who might be in the files that have been released. And Rihanna might be a part of what's going on with all that. So it might be best if she's not around to testify about how she got into the industry. There's also speculation that the one who did the shooting might have been paid to do the shooting. She already hated Rihanna, so maybe she was influenced to partake in what happened by the same ones with the motive to want Rihanna gone. And like I said, word is that she has now fled her home in California, and she's trying to find somewhere else safe, because it looks like the place they were in had no security. And when I say security, I'm talking about it didn't look like it was a gated community. From what I understand and the research I did, it sounds like you could just pull up in front of the house. There was no gated area for them to get through. So how could you be making this much money and living in a place that's not gated? Doesn't make any sense why she would even be there and thinking that was fine. So look, I don't know what's really going on with the situation, if there's something deeper and darker going on with the situation, or if it's just a random crazed fan. But I'll leave that up for you to decide. I just know that when you're in this industry, a lot of strange stuff seems to happen. Sometimes it seems to be normal things, but sometimes there's darker things going on behind the scenes. And so let me know what you think in the comment section about this situation that happened to Rihanna. I'm going to leave some links, like I said, if you want to check out the Rihanna origin story, how she got into the industry. I'll leave that link in the comment section and description box. I'll also leave links to my other channels and social media and stuff like that. Let's get over 100 likes on this video. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and everything like that. This has been Exclusive Update signing off.